Hello students, welcome to Vision Pharmacy. In this video, we are going to study about Pharmacy Council of India and State Councils. In State Councils, we have State Council as well as Joint State Pharmacy Councils. However, before we start with our today's video, please like, share, subscribe and press the bell icon for updates on upcoming videos. Let's begin. So let's start first with Pharmacy Council of India, its composition and functions. So, talking about composition of Pharmacy Council of India, Pharmacy Act 1948 provides the constitution for Pharmacy Council, that is Pharmacy Council of India, also known as Central Council, under Section 3 of Chapter 1 by Central Government. The Pharmacy Act is of 1948. However, the first Pharmacy Council was constituted in 1949. It is reconstituted every 5 years. Then, talking about actual composition of Pharmacy Council of India. So, Pharmacy Council of India has three different types of members. First one is elected members, then nominated members, and third one, that is ex officio members. So, first of all, let us talk about elected members. So, 6 members, amongst whom there shall be at least one teacher of each of the subjects of pharmacy, pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmacology and pharmacognosy, elected by UGC from amongst teaching staff of Indian University or a college affiliated thereto which grants either degree or diploma in pharmacy. Then second one is one member elected amongst themselves by members of Medical Council of India, that is MCI. Then third one is one member elected by State Pharmacy Council of each state who shall be a registered pharmacist. So these are the elected members of PCI. Now talking about nominated members. So these members are nominated by central government. So in nominated members, first one we have is 6 members nominated by central government or government of India, of whom at least 4 shall possess degree or diploma in pharmacy and should be practicing pharmacy or pharmaceutical chemistry. Then next nominated member is one representative from AICTE, that is All India Council for Technical Education, and one member from UGC, that is University Grants Commission. Then one member representing each state government or union territory shall be a registered pharmacist nominated by respective state government or union territory in order to represent their state in pharmacy council. Then the next is ex officio members. So we have 3 ex officio members in PCI. The first one is Director General of Health Service, then Drug Controller of India, and Director of Central Drug Laboratory or CDL. So this is our Pharmacy Council of India, consisting of elected members, nominated members and ex officio members. Now let us look over the functions of Pharmacy Council of India. The first function of Pharmacy Council of India is to prescribe the minimum standards of education required for qualification as a pharmacist. So this can be provided by making the rules as education regulation, which prescribes minimum qualification for admission, duration of the course, then detail of syllabus, then practical training, examinations, minimum facilities required for conducting of course, examination and practical trainings. Then second one is to regulate the minimum educational standards by inspecting the institutes. To fulfill this purpose, central government or central councils may appoint inspectors to inspect the institutions providing the minimum standards in education in pharmacy and report on the facilities available and decide whether the institute shall be recognized or not. Then the third important function of Pharmacy Council of India is to recognize qualification granted outside the territory to which Pharmacy Act 1948 extends for the purpose of qualifying for registration under the said act. Then the next function is to compile and maintain a central register for pharmacists containing names of all registered persons for the time being entered in state register. Then the last function is any other function that may be assigned to Central Council in the furtherance of the objective of Pharmacy Act 1948. So these are the important functions of Pharmacy Council of India. Then next is we are going to study about state councils. So state councils, their composition and function. So starting with composition of State Council of India, each state of India can constitute state council under the section 19 of Pharmacy Act 1948 by their respective state government. Then under the section 20 of Pharmacy Act 1948, joint state pharmacy councils can be constituted where two or more states agree to serve the need of other participating states. That is, these states do not have their independent state council. Okay, then by mistake the heading of the slide is composition of state pharmacy council and not State Council of India. Then moving further, talking about constitution of State Pharmacy Council and Joint State Pharmacy Council. So first, that is elected member. So in State Pharmacy Council we have 6 members elected by registered pharmacists of particular state. So these members are elected amongst themselves by registered pharmacists of the state. Then one member elected by members of medical council of state amongst themselves. Then talking about Joint State Pharmacy Council, in Joint State Pharmacy Council, as provided in agreement, not less than 3 and not more than 5 members elected amongst the registered pharmacists of each participating state, and 1 member elected by members of each medical council from amongst themselves of each participating state. Second one, we have nominated members. So 5 members nominated by state government, of whom at least 3 shall be person possessing a prescribed degree or diploma in pharmacy or pharmaceutical chemistry or a registered pharmacist. Then for Joint State Pharmacy Council, as agreement provides, not less than 2 and not more than 4 members nominated by each participating state government, of whom at least 50% or half should possess degree or diploma in pharmacy or pharmaceutical chemistry or be a registered pharmacist. Then the next one, that is the ex officio members. First, let's talk about ex officio members of State Pharmacy Council. So the first one is Chief Administrative Medical Officer of the state. Then the officer in charge of Drug Control Department or organization of the state appointed under Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940, and government analyst appointed under Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940. If there are more than one such analyst, one may be nominated by government. Now moving towards ex officio members of Joint State Pharmacy Council. So first one is Chief Administrative Medical Officer of each participating state. Then second one is officer in charge of Drug Control Organization or Department of each participating state under Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940, and government analyst appointed under Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940 of each participating state. So these were the various of elected, nominated and ex officio members of State Pharmacy Council and Joint State Pharmacy Council. Now let's have a look on functions of State Pharmacy Council. Please ignore the mistake of heading of the slide, that is function of State Council of India. It has to be function of State Pharmacy Council. So the first important function of State Pharmacy Council is inspection by State Council. A state council with previous sanction of state government may appoint sufficient number of inspector to have a prescribed qualification. They have to inspect any premises where drugs are compounded or dispensed, then inquire whether a person who is engaged in compounding or dispensing of drug is a registered pharmacist or not, then investigate any complaint made in written in respect of any contravention of this act, then institute prosecution, that is legal proceedings, under the order of Executive Committee of State Council, and execute such other power as may be necessary to give effect to some provisions of the act. Let me also tell you that every inspector shall be deemed to be a public servant within the meaning of section 21 of Indian Penal Code, and any person willfully obstructing an inspector in exercising of the power conferred on him by or under this act or any rule made thereunder shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 6 months or fine of rupees 1000 or both. Then, the next function of State Pharmacy Council is maintenance of register. The first and subsequent register of pharmacists in the state are prepared and maintained by state government. Then, the State Council before the end of June each year are required to pay the PCI a sum equivalent to one-fourth of the fees realized by them during the period of 12 months ending March 31st of that year. Then, also to maintain a pharmacist's particulars like that of the full name and residential address of registered person, the date of his first entry in register, his qualification for registration, his professional address, and if he is employed by any person, the name of such person, such further particulars as may be prescribed, all has to be maintained. Then the next function is entry and removal of name. Then talking about entry. So this is about entry of name in State Pharmacy Council. So all applicants of registration shall be addressed to registrar of the State Pharmacy Council. If the applicant has the requisite qualification for registration, he shall direct his or her name to the entered in register. Upon entry, a certificate of registration is issued. Person whose name has been removed from the register of any state shall not be entitled to register unless State Council give its consent, and also to make renewal rules. Then talking about next, that is removal of name from register. So name of a pharmacist may be removed from register on following conditions. First one, if his name has been entered in register by error or on account of misrepresentation or suppression of material fact. Or second one is if he has been convicted of any offense or has been guilty of any infamous conduct in any professional respect which in the option of executive committee renders him unfit to be kept in register, or that a person employed by him to work under him is connected with any business of pharmacy that has been convicted of an offense or held guilty of any such infamous conduct. If such person is a registered pharmacist, he is liable to remove his name from register. However, in such case, the executive committee should be satisfied that the offense or infamous conduct was incite or convinced at by registered pharmacist, or the registered pharmacist has at any time during the period of 12 months immediately preceding the date on which the offense or infamous conduct took place committed similar offense or guilty of infamous conduct, or any person employed by registered pharmacist in connection with any business of pharmacy has been guilty of similar offense during the preceding 12 months, and that the registered pharmacist had knowledge of such previous offense or infamous conduct. The removal of name from register may be either permanent or for a specific period. The order of removal shall be confirmed by State Council and it takes effect only after 3 months of date of such confirmation. A person aggrieved may appeal to state government within 30 days of receipt of order. Decision of state government shall be final. On removal, the certificate of registration is to be surrendered to the registrar of concerned state council, and the name so removed shall be published in official gazette. Then the next function is printing of register. So again, this is the important function of State Pharmacy Council. Printing of register carried out on the first day of April following the beginning of Pharmacy Amendment Act 1959. Thereafter, each year after the 1st of April, the registrar will arrange for the reprinting showing supplement to the registers. These registers and supplements are deemed to be proof that persons whose name are contained therein are registered pharmacists. So this is all about the composition and functions of Pharmacy Council of India and State Pharmacy Council. Thank you for watching. I hope you have understood. Thank you.